Hey guys, how you doing? So quick video about tuning boxes. So if you're in the market for a tuning box, if you've been looking for a tuning box for your car, you might have noticed that many, if not all, of the companies claim that the tuning boxes can increase horsepower of the car while at the same time increasing the fuel economy. Now, obviously, you can't have both at the same time. You can't demand more energy from the engine, i.e. accelerate faster, drive at a higher speed, and also improve your fuel economy. It's not possible. It's not a miracle device, a tuning box. Having said that, you can have, theoretically at least, you can have both things, but not at the same time. So you can either use a tuning box to drive faster, i.e. accelerate faster, travel at a higher speed, or you can use the extra torque, extra power of a tuning box to get a better fuel economy. So for this video, I'm just going to use the Remap website as an example. So they have a page here. If you want to look at it, it's racechip.com/chip-tuning/fuel-economy.html. I'll put a link to this page in the video description. So basically what it comes down to is, to get better fuel economy, they're saying that you need to use less total revolutions during a journey. So for a 5-minute journey in town, maybe the engine turns over, I don't know, like 30,000 times, for example. If you can do the same journey but have the engine turn over 25,000 times during the course of the trip, you saved yourself, whatever was that, 25,000 divided by 30, right? So 17% less revolutions for the trip. That's 17% less fuel injection events. So theoretically you're looking at a 17% fuel saving if you can use less RPM. So you're saying, you might be thinking, well, okay, why do I need a tuning box to use less RPM during the trip? I mean, I can just, change gear earlier myself. Well, this is true, but if you want to, continue at the same speed, you're going to need more torque at lower RPM. And this is where the tuning box comes in. Because it gives the power lower down in the RPM range, you can change gear earlier and still be able to travel at the same speed as you were before. And that's basically it, guys. This is how a tuning box, or a remap for that matter, can save you on fuel. You can accelerate at the same rate, but you don't need to use such a high RPM to achieve the same rate of acceleration. You can drive around and use a lower gear, change gear earlier. So for example, in this photo here, I drive in third gear with 3000 RPM to maintain the speed that you want to travel at. Whereas if you have more torque, more power in the lower down in the RPM range, you can drive around with fourth gear and only use like 2000 RPM in this example. So if you're driving around at slow speed in town, because you have more torque available to you at lower RPM, you don't need to drive around in third gear to be able to keep up with the traffic, or be able to change direction or whatever you're doing, pull out of junctions or whatever you might be doing. You can use fourth gear. And the same could be said if you drive around in fourth, maybe you can use fifth gear depending on how many gears the car has. That is the principle behind it, guys. The total revolutions per journey can be less when your engine is making more torque and more power lower down in the RPM range. So, this is what it is. You can basically, what I'm saying here is what it says on this web page here. Again, I'll link to this in the video description. So, for example, to be fair, in Remap specifically, they say fuel economy can go up by 10 to 15%. But also you have to bear in mind that it's a specific type of driving where you'll be able to realize this better fuel economy. If you're traveling on a motorway, a freeway, autobahn, you're traveling along at say 140 kilometers an hour, in top gear, you're not going to be able to get any big fuel economy gains in that type of driving, because you're going to be using the same gear, same RPM, same speed, whether you're using a tuning box or the original car. With or without the tuning box, it's going to be the same. But in town driving, where you're accelerating, braking, when you're changing gear a lot, this is when this is when you're going to realize the fuel economy benefits, because you're going to be able to change gear earlier. Basically, this is the foundation of it all. You're able to change gear earlier, use less revs, and maintain the same speed as you were before the tuning box. So obviously, to realize these gains, you need to be in the type of driving that exploits this difference, and that is stop-start driving in town, and driving on country roads where you're braking and accelerating for corners and what have you. If you're traveling at the same constant speed, like I said, on a freeway or a motorway, it's not really going to be possible to realize any fuel gains there, because you're not changing gear, so you're not able to change gear earlier, so you're not able to reduce the amount of revolutions that the engine is using. So that's it, guys. This is the principle behind the claims that the tuning box manufacturers and maybe the remapping companies are making, that they can give you more power and also more fuel economy. Maybe it's confusing. It seems like you can travel faster and get better fuel economy at the same time, and absolutely not. You can't do that. You can have one or the other. You can't have both at the same time. You can't exploit the extra power, travel faster, travel at higher speeds, and get better fuel economy. You can either drive around, change gear earlier, and save fuel that way, or you can exploit the power and travel faster, accelerate faster, in which case you're going to use more fuel than before, because with a tuning box or with a remap, your engine is going to have a greater capacity to ingest air, make power, use fuel. So if you like, it extends the amount of the difference between the best fuel economy and the worst fuel economy. Theoretically could be worse with a remap or a tuning box, because they can make more power, but it also gives you the ability to change gear earlier, save fuel. So that's the video, guys. This is how, if you're wondering how these companies can claim that their products increase fuel economy and increase power, that is it. You can get both, but not at the same time. So hopefully this video was helpful. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments below. As always, please vote in the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you again next time.